What if we dump tons of dry ice into the ocean? Before we dive into this chilling journey of science, disaster, and survival, don't forget to subscribe for more incredible what-if explorations. What if we dump tons of dry ice into the ocean? It began as a radical idea. Climate change had spiraled out of control. The polar ice caps were melting, storms grew stronger, and entire coastlines were vanishing beneath rising seas. Politicians and corporations stalled, fighting over money and responsibility. But a coalition of desperate scientists proposed a bold plan. If the planet is overheating, why don't we cool it down directly? Let's dump dry ice, frozen carbon dioxide, into the oceans. The water will cool instantly, and global warming will stop. First, it sounded brilliant. Massive cargo ships were filled with mountains of dry ice. Governments rushed to join the project, selling it as the fast fix humanity had been waiting for. Crowds cheered as the first blocks of dry ice were pushed into the Pacific Ocean. The surface roared and hissed. White fog rose into the sky. Satellites recorded a drop in ocean surface temperature by a fraction of a degree. News anchors called it the miracle of the century. Humanity celebrated. But beneath the waves, something darker was happening. The first weeks, poison in the water. The ocean is Earth's beating heart, regulating climate, feeding billions, and generating half of the planet's oxygen. But the sudden release of CO2 from dry ice didn't just cool the water. It poisoned it. pH levels crashed. The ocean grew acidic faster than ever in history. Corals bleached not over decades, but in days. Tiny plankton, the foundation of the marine food chain, began to die in swarms. Without them, fish populations collapsed. Fishermen from Chile to Japan pulled up empty nets. Whale pods wandered aimlessly, unable to find krill. Coastal communities, once rich with life, turned into silent graveyards. Beaches were soon littered with dead jellyfish, crabs, and fish, washed ashore in endless waves. Scientists panicked. They had promised a solution but had unleashed a catastrophe. The Great Choke. As more ships released their icy cargo, another danger appeared. One no one had predicted. When dry ice sublimated, it released carbon dioxide gas in unimaginable amounts. Normally, winds would scatter the gas harmlessly. But on calm nights, the CO2 settled into heavy blankets above the ocean surface. Invisible, odorless, and deadly. Villagers in coastal Africa, South America, and Southeast Asia woke up gasping for air. Entire towns suffocated in their sleep. Emergency crews found silent streets filled with bodies. The press named it the Great Choke. Governments rushed to evacuate low-lying areas. Coastal alarms were installed, shrieking whenever CO2 levels rose. Masks and oxygen tanks became as common as umbrellas in seaside towns. Humanity, once proud of saving the climate, was now running from its own experiment. Climate chaos unleashed, and still the oceans resisted. Dumping dry ice in massive quantities disrupted the delicate currents that transport heat across the globe. The Gulf Stream faltered. The Pacific oscillations broke down. The climate engine of Earth stuttered. The results were chaos. In Europe, blizzards buried cities under meters of snow. Summers vanished, replaced by endless winters. In Africa and India, the monsoons disappeared. Rivers dried, crops failed, and famine spread. In the Americas, hurricanes grew twice as strong, fueled by sudden temperature swings between cooled and overheated waters. Instead of saving the planet, humanity had torn its climate apart. Collapse and reckoning. By the second year, the project was abandoned. Ships returned to port, their holds empty, their crews weary. The oceans were scarred. Vast dead zones stretched where life once thrived. Millions of people had died from suffocation, starvation, or storms. World leaders gathered at the United Nations, faces pale and voices trembling. One scientist, Dr. Elena Torres, who had once stood proudly at the launch of the project, addressed the assembly. Her words would echo through history. "We thought we were freezing the ocean. Instead, we froze our future. You cannot shortcut nature. Every action has a price, and we paid it in blood." Humanity finally realized the truth. The Earth was not a machine to be patched with quick fixes. It was a living system, and reckless interference could destroy it. Generations later, the dry ice disaster, as it came to be known, was remembered as one of the greatest human mistakes. Monuments were built near ruined coastlines, with simple words carved in stone: respect the ocean. But out of the tragedy came change. Humanity turned, at last, to sustainable solutions. Renewable energy replaced fossil fuels. Massive reforestation projects spread across continents. The oceans, scarred but resilient, began to heal. Children grew up hearing the story, not as a tale of despair, but as a warning that arrogance nearly ended us and humility saved us. And that was just one possible future. What do you think? Could dumping dry ice into the ocean ever save the planet? Or would it doom us all? Hit subscribe, share your thoughts in the comments, and stay tuned for more incredible what-if stories.